Hi everyone, this is Carla and you have reached my channel, Carla Being Crafty, where I talk mostly about cross stitch but also about other crafts and some life stuff thrown in. Welcome so much, you guys. If this is your first time finding my channel, then I hope you have a great time and want to like and subscribe. And if you are a returning viewer, then I can't express enough how much I appreciate you guys. So thank you so much for being here. So today is Sunday, September 29th. We're right at the end of September, going into October stitching. So I know for a lot of people that means a lot of Halloween stitching and that kind of thing, and I am no different. There's going to be some stuff I'm going to show you that I'm going to be doing next month. But last week I was kind of like at the beginnings of getting a kind of summer cold, and thank you so much to all of the people who wished me well and everything. I kind of like fought it pretty much all week. I'm still kind of running a temperature at night and I'm a little congested and stuff. It's just one of those things that's going to hang on, I think. I did stay home from work last Monday and slept until afternoon, so I think my body needed that, but and then I stitched the rest of the day, so but I'm doing okay. Today, did I say today was December? Yeah, I did say it was the 29th. This week has been a little bit stressful. My mom is in the hospital, although she's supposed to be coming home tomorrow on Monday. Nothing serious really. She was having some pain issues and she has to get a series of shots like in her neck and her knees and stuff like that, and I don't know if it's cortisone, I don't know what it is, but the doctors thought it would be a little bit easier if she was actually just admitted to the hospital, because she doesn't live close to her doctors and there's a hospital like in the same parking lot that her doctors are in. So it was just kind of more of a convenience thing than anything else. But when she was admitted, then they did a bunch of tests like they always do, and they discovered some, heart weirdness, murmur or something, which we already knew she'd had a heart murmur, but they put her on the telemetry unit for a day, and a cardiac specialist had to come see her, and, it turned out it was nothing. But for like a day or so, that was a little bit stressful. But she had, I guess she's having her next series of shots tomorrow morning, and then the doctor has to visit her, and then she will be released, supposedly. So she's only been in there less than a week, but it's always stressful, I'm used to pretty much talking to my mom every day. Not always, sometimes we'll skip a day, but I usually text or talk to her every day, and if it goes for a couple days without hearing from her, it starts to feel weird, and I don't, she can't communicate with me as well when she's in the hospital, she has to call me at a certain time. It's just, a pain. So, yeah, but she hasn't been in there long enough for me to go down there. It's actually kind of a trek. So, anyway, she'll be home tomorrow. But it's been a little bit stressful for me. But anyway, oh, I have to mention, you guys, last week, did you notice I had a sticker, this is 2.0 magnification, on my glasses the entire video. I mean, I guess I really was out of it because I am looking at myself here in the screen and didn't notice it until I watched it back after I filmed. I felt so dumb, but what you gonna do? So for all eternity, my video number 13 is going to have me with a big sticker on my glasses, like mini pearl or something. But so I don't have, normally I do shout outs. I have been watching FlossTube, a lot of FlossTube, and some new people, but I don't have anybody really specifically to talk to about yet. I also, the last couple days, I got, I've been binge watching Call the Midwife, which I've never seen before, and there's 8 seasons of it, so yeah, I'm probably a little bit late to the party on that, but I started watching that show and was like, I gotta watch it. So the last couple days I haven't been watching as much FlossTube as I normally do. But sometimes with FlossTube, especially because I keep adding people, I can get myself a little bit burnt out on it, which, I even hate to admit that because I do love FlossTube, but Yeah, I think I got a little bit burnt out on it this week because I was watching so much. So I don't have anybody specific to shout out, but I do have a couple new people in my queue, and I'm sure I will be shouting out more people next week. So let's get started on the good stuff. I have 3 FFOs this weekend, you guys. So, and there are 2 things that I finished this week, and then the one that you guys have seen previously. So the first one is this punch needle that I was showing you guys. So this is the first punch needle I did. Now looking at it in the screen, it looks like it's totally crooked in here, but no biggie. And I like the way it came out. I really enjoyed doing the punch needle, and I have another kit, so that will be something I will do eventually. And I think I'll just stick in little projects here and there in my repertoire because it was fun. So I just did this in one of these like crappy square hoops that I talked about, I think in my second video, how bad these were as far as a useful hoop. But I thought that they would make cute framing, finishing implements. So I just, you know, put it in this hoop. This is one of the bead flowers that I've shown you previously, and I just kind of bent it so it fit around the mechanism part of the hoop. And then I just covered it with the sticky back felt just to keep everything in. The good thing about this is if I decide to change it out, the sticky back felt just, I can peel it off pretty easily, and then I can do something else with the piece, do something else with the frame, whatever. So I'm not locked into this, but I do think it came out pretty cute. So there's number 1. Number 2, this was a previous finish. This was in the Pumpkin Patch by Val's Stuff, and I think I finished that like 2 weeks ago. Excuse me. So when I did this, I actually first did it as like kind of an ornament type piece, and do I have the little thing that I used? Yeah. I was gonna put it, I did put it on this. I made like a little sticky board, you know, backed thing with this pumpkin fabric, and I was gonna put this on one side and kind of have it off center. And I got it kind of done, and I was looking at it and I was like, eh. And then I looked at the frames that I had sitting over on the side here that I got at the thrift store. This one was $2.99, and I'm like, that looks like it would just fit. And then I kind of like put it over that, and I was like, I really like that better. So I tore the whole ornament thing apart, and I took the glass out of this because it just wasn't going to fit with the glass. Yeah, and I just did it in here, and then I put a couple little ivy leaves on it just because I thought that looked cute. And I really, really like the way it looks in this frame. I am like terrible about getting like cute things at the thrift store. I think I don't have that kind of vision. I go in there and it just, everything kind of looks used and dirty, and I don't have that sort of like, or Priscilla and Chelsea say like, you know, crusty, old and crusty. I don't have that kind of aesthetic, like that farmhouse shabby chic. So I don't see the shabby chic, I just see shabby. But occasionally I will find something, and this frame just caught my eye. I just thought it was kind of interesting and cool, and I just think it looks really great with this piece. So I like how that turned out. Okay. Although that, you know, putting it in a frame like that isn't that challenging. Then the last thing was my October. This is Year of Celebrations by Hands On Design. So I finished October in time for October, which is kind of cool. And so this is on, you know, a little mini clipboard. I got a set of 3 mini clipboards from Kohls, I want to say, for like $10 on sale. They were on like clearance. So there was 2 like brown ones and 1 black one. So I still have the 2 brown ones for something else. And then this is like just a 2-layer thing. This is a sticky board with the sticky side on the back. And I put the purple fabric over it and then just put a piece of the felt to cover up the extra sticky. Excuse me. Then I put this on sticky board also with sticky to the back. with a little bit of batting underneath it. And then I put, this is all, the felt is also sticky back, so I pinked it, centered that, put this on top of the felt. So everything is just sticky to sticky. And I just really like the way it turned out. I did, like, I was not perfect at the pinking up here. I was really trying, and I think that I had like the one spot where I didn't do a good job. And of course, like an idiot, I put it top and center because I didn't realize it until afterwards. But, you know, live and learn. I'll know better for next time. Sorry. But I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I got this purple fabric from Joann's. It was like a set of like, I don't think they were even fat quarters. They were just pieces of fabric that were like shades of purple with this little bit of glitter in it. I don't know if you can see that now. And I want to go back and see if they have other sets in like other color families, because I think that that would be great to have the same sort of fabric as the backing for all of my 12 months, because I definitely have different, you know, I have a lot of felt that I got for that making the Orc Catcher project. So I have a lot of felt to use for the finishings on these, and then I think it would be neat to have different colors of, but the same kind of fabric, but different colors for the different months. And so I want to try and see if they have, like, you know, maybe a set of greens and pinks and, you know, yellows or something. I just had another thought that went on in my head. Well, hopefully it'll come back to me. But this is from Hands on Design, Year of Celebrations, and it's not called for colors. I just, you know, pulled my own colors. And this is on a, it's supposed to be 28 count. I think it's a 32 count Lugana. And I think this is Alchemy. Okay. So that's my finishes. I think 3 finishes in a week is pretty good, or 3 FFOs. So those will be scattered around my apartment after I finish this video. It's interesting that as I'm stitching now, I'm starting to get, you know, things around my apartment, stitched pieces. So that's kind of a cool thing to me. So I got a lot of whips actually touched this week. You know, after this is what, video number 14, and I finally thought to put like a TV tray in front of me so I don't have to put everything over here, so I keep turning away from you guys. So maybe that'll, you know, be nice. Okay, so I worked a little bit last night on my Lion of Judah. This is the project I started actually on my birthday this year. So I finished the menorah. I have threads in the back here that need to be snipped, but I finished the menorah. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't fill in right here because the lion's mane goes there, but that's one of the last things you do because it's couched. And then I did the silk up the side here and across the top. So it doesn't look like much yet, but I'm enjoying working with the silks, and I'm enjoying doing the needlepoint occasionally. It's just kind of, it's like similar but slightly different, and I like that. So let's see, this one, oh, this is my classic poo. This is the one I actually worked on the day I was sick. And again, this project is so big that it doesn't look like I got a super lot done just because it's so big. So that's the classic poo. And this one I'm stitching kind of in honor of my dad, because I have this great memory of him reading me this story that this picture was in. So I got a lot more done on the blue, like 2 more strands of blue, and then I went ahead and I put the string in down to, this is Pooh Bear's paw, and then this is his eye actually, and this goes up to his nose over here. So, and I'm using a ThreadWorx or Needle Neccessities variegated thread for both the blue and the brown. The brown is a very variegated, like goes from brown to like a honey color, and you know, I'm not at a place where I can see really how, you know, if it's gonna look good or if it's gonna look weird. I think it's gonna look good. If it ends up looking, well, if it ends up looking weird, it ends up looking weird, I guess. I haven't used variegated in that way before, but I know a lot of people do. So I'm hopeful that it will look nice. I'm trying to stitch it like so that the forms make sense. Like around the paw, I'm stitching it, you know, back and forth around the arch of the paw. And I'm gonna try and do that, like, you know, with this nose and, you know, all over the piece to make, you know, so that it doesn't look stripy. This is in this house. This is the one that I am stitching for my brother and his family. In this house, we do geek. This is coming along really nicely. I wanted to get it done by the end of the month. I'm not gonna, because I'm not. But I also feel like I got a little bit of a reprieve on it because I found out I'm gonna actually be spending Thanksgiving with my brother. So that's like my absolute deadline, because if I'm gonna be there in Rancho Santa Margarita at Thanksgiving time, then you know, then I don't want to mail it. I'm gonna bring it. So I don't necessarily need to stitch on it like so intently in October. I mean, I'm sure I will do it a little bit, but I don't feel like I have to get it done this week. Okay, so hold it back here. So I got a lot more done in this color and then the bright orange. So I only have 2 more colors. I have like a darker kind of rusty color, and then we're back to the black. And this is coming out really nice. I got kind of a cool fabric to go on the back of it because I'm going to turn this into a wall hanging. And it's basically just a black fabric with a little bit of gold accents, just like I'm doing the rest of this, but the gold accents are Harry Potter glasses. And it's kind of subtle, so I don't think that you necessarily, you know, the first glance it would just look like circles and whatever, but then when you look at it closer, you realize it's Harry Potter glasses. So this is Froth and Bubble by Long Dog Samplers. Here's the picture. I started this. This is a part of the Long Dog Sal that I'm participating in September. And I guess Sampler September as well. I don't think of this as like typically what a sampler would look like, but I'm stitching this kind of in honor of my best friend's parents who both passed away this past year. And that's how far I got. Which again, it doesn't look like that much progress. I finished the outline of the flower here, and I did a lot more black and then a lot more of this light blue color. But there's a lot of stitches in this, so. Oh, and then this is this really stiff Aida. This is I think it's a 16 count. I'm not sure. It's either 14 or 16. And I mentioned last time that I was talking about this piece that the fabric was really stiff and I was having trouble actually even getting the needle through and everything just because of how highly starched the fabric was. Oh, it must be 14 count because I was using a 26 count needle, you know, and so counterintuitively, I guess you think like, oh, you're having trouble getting the needle through, use a smaller needle. But actually I went ahead and I started using a bigger needle, a 24, and it's working much better. I guess it just needed that thickness of the needle to help push through the fabric. So I started using the 24 needle, and it really helped a lot. And then the last thing that I worked on this week, because I finished October, so I started November. And what did I do with the picture? Oh, it's over here. Excuse me. I have to remember to keep these in a different place. Okay, so okay, so we're working on November, which is right here. Okay, and this is how much I got done. So again, I'm not using called for colors because I don't have them. My technique, I guess, for pulling colors is I'll pull out all of my my overdyed flosses. So I have a bunch of Needle Neccessities, which is ThreadWorx, because I bought, if you remember, I bought a lot of 50 on eBay. I also have 20 overdyeds, so they're no name, no number. They're like mystery overdyeds from, again, from eBay, from Queen City Dyers. And actually I just ordered another set of 10. So I'll be getting those in the next week or so. And then I have a few gassed, a few color and cotton, just because I bought them for other things, or like the color and cotton, I have 4 colors that I got, you know, from a birthday promotion thing. So, so I get those all together, and then I look at what the pattern calls for. If I don't have it, I look it up online or whatever to figure out what color it is, and then I just pick something that goes similar. Unless it's a really special project, I'm just not probably likely to, you know, order a bunch of flosses for a project, because I have floss. I mean, and I have a lot of DMC. I don't have everything, but I have a lot. And, you know, I'm obviously not exactly a as called for person. I've said that before. I'm using the fabric that I want, which is usually colored. If it's got like a beige linen, very neutral fabric, that's probably not what I'm going to use. To me, like a light purple or something is the neutral that I would use. But okay, so actually that brings me to haul, which I don't have very much, but so to speak. It's, you know, it's the end of the month, so you guys can see my spending habits. They ebb and wane based on where we are at the paycheck. But I did get this from eBay. This is just from magazine, which I didn't actually realize when I ordered it. I ordered it late at night. I was just like scrolling, and I went, oh, that's cute, and it's only like $3 and free shipping. So I went ahead and ordered it, and it is just magazine pages. It's from I don't know, where's it from? Just Cross Stitch magazine from, does it have a year? October 2017. But I actually really like these patterns anyway, so I'm not mad about it being magazine pages. I really like that one, and I really like this. I like the other ones too. So again, for $2 or $3, that was worth it to me. And then the other thing I got was just a piece of fabric. This is a pink 25 count Lugana. And they're calling it hibiscus. I think it's a pretty pink color. And I got this specifically for Spring Fling. I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago, I showed you these 2 patterns that I had ordered. Oops, Spring Fling and Confetti. And I do want to stitch those sometime in the coming year. So the pink, I didn't have any pink fabric, so I thought I would get something like that, so I had something for Spring Fling. And then I ordered like a couple weeks ago, which I had already showed you, a green Lugana. So I'm going to use that one for the Confetti. So now I have the fabric for both of those pieces. I do not have fabric for Gathering Honey, which is the one that I want to do for my my Sal in February. I showed you guys this. God, I showed you guys this last week. I'm thinking of maybe like it would look good on some like a buttery yellow, but I mean this is like really neutral and I want it more obvious yellow. Yeah, so I'm either on the lookout to find a piece of fabric for this, or the other thing that I'm thinking that I might get some fabric on eBay, because you can get like a lot of plain, and when I say a lot, I don't mean a lot like many, I mean a lot, like you buy a lot of flosses or a lot of fabric, meaning more than one in the purchase. You can get a lot of fabric for good prices oftentimes, and I was thinking of maybe getting a lot of fabric and then doing my own dyeing. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Every time I see somebody who does it, I always think I want to try that, and I watched that FlossTube video. Floss and Fluff, or I can't remember her name, but she did a mason jar dyeing tutorial. I'll look it up and put it in there for you guys, but that was fun to watch, and it looks pretty easy, so I don't know, I'm interested in doing that. I don't know if I will do that sooner or later or what, but so then speaking of the B-Sal, a lot of people, you know, said that they were interested in doing that with me, so that would be great. I explained all the bee issue last week, and I'm more and more happy that I'm deciding that I'm going to do that in February. And I think that the salad is going to be hashtag BEE, be my own Valentine sal. So, yeah, but I'm totally excited to start that in February. I mean, was that 4 months away now? Let's see, October, November, December, January, February, 5 months away. So, yeah, so I'm excited to start that. Okay, so my plans for October stitching, I did not complete like the 24 hours of cross stick. I mean, I did. If I wanted to go in and like fill it out, I could. I don't know if I'm going to do that for October. It's just, it's not motivating me any more than my own personal way of doing things. It's like so fun. And I love watching everybody else's FlossTube when they talk about, you know, magical stitches are now enchanted stitches is like the big thing, which I kind of wonder, anybody who is doing both of those things, how do you feel about the fact that the magical stitches in literature is going to be doing Disney next year, and you've already joined this Disney one, so you're going to have 2 Disney ones? Is that weird? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, again, I've talked before about how I totally enjoy watching all the homeworks that you guys are doing and what your assignments are and stuff, and I just know that it's not something that would work for me. But I do love vicariously doing those clubs through you guys. But it's the same with the 24 hours of cross stitch. If I had somebody who was a stitching buddy or a friend or a family member or something, I would totally do the actual 24-hour events. But by myself, I just don't want to. I mean, I stay up and stitch till 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes on Saturdays anyway. So, yeah, I don't think that would be fun to sit here by myself and try and stay awake for 24 hours to stitch to be part of an event. And the acrostics they're fun, to fill the stuff out. But yeah, for me, it's just another thing to do that may or may not be motivating. But, okay, so my plans for October, make more project bags. I still didn't do them yesterday like I was planning on. And see, the thing with the sewing is I get excited about it, and I am excited about it, but then actually doing it, it's hard for me to motivate myself to do it. Yesterday, I do actually have to give myself a little bit of props, because I did actually do a lot of work around my apartment yesterday, which was, you know, not my favorite thing to do, but I was like, you know, I had to clean out my pantry. I was dealing with a bit of a bug issue, and I need to take care of that. I do live in an apartment, and sometimes apartment living, that's just how it is. So yeah, so I did a lot of stuff yesterday, but not stitching related stuff. But so my plans for October, I'm going to do Halloween stitching just because, yeah, I haven't done any in a while. The biggest, you know, like Halloween-ish piece that I haven't touched in like a month and a half is my Glend in Place. I love this project, so I'm excited to kind of pull it back out again. This is where I am on it. So my next step will be to finish the werewolf and then move forward. Probably the snake will be next because he's in the middle here. But I love this fabric. It's so pretty. Yeah, so I'm excited to pull that out, get going on Glend in Place again in October. And I'm going to start on this social butterfly chart that I got for my stepdaughter Taylor. Do I have to get, God, I'm like so bad with the upside down today. Okay, so that will be a new start, possibly today. And I'm really thinking about pulling out my, what I call my travel project, my purse project, which is Mill Hill Moonstruck. It's the cat, you know, silhouetted in the moon on the big tree. I'm sure you guys, well, you've seen it on my channel. I'm thinking about pulling that out, maybe replacing it with something else in my purse, and working on that in October. Not that I can't go back and forth for my purse, but I don't know. In my head, it's like if I put it over here in my daily projects thing, then it's not my purse project anymore, so I don't know. And then the last thing, though, that I'm going to pull out, I wanted to participate in Claire's birthday sale, Beautiful Clarity. She was having a birthday sale in October, and her only, you know, requirement was that she's not a big Halloween or fall fan, even though her birthday's in October, so she didn't want it to be anything of those themes. So I respect her with that, and I'm not going to start something new, but I am going to work on my Sweet William, which is my Riolis kit, because it's beautiful and she's Beautiful Clarity. So I'm going to work on this a couple times in honor of her birthday and her birthday sale. So this is what it will look like. So yeah, so I've just finished like this part, so I have quite a ways to go on it actually, but I am enjoying stitching on that. It's kind of a different stitch just because you're using the wool floss as opposed to the cotton floss, which comes on these cards. So I think all Riolis kits are like that. I'm holding it upside down again. And you just use 2 strands of this. So it's, you can even see here, it's just like a little fluffier. It's not like yarn exactly, but it's not like cotton floss either. And, but I enjoy working with it. I think the colors in this particular project are just so pretty. The pinks and the reds, and yeah, they do make me kind of happy. So yeah, so I'll be working on that for her, or in honor of her birthday. And yeah, so that's those are my plans. And then again, the project bags. So I don't know, maybe I'll get motivated, and I'll, like I said, I have four bags that are cut out and everything is fused. They just need to be stitched. And actually I have a couple that would need like the same color thread, so I don't even need to switch thread colors. So if I just, you know, get my bottom in gear and just open the sewing machine and set my stuff up a little bit, then I could go ahead and do that. So I might do that today, but no promises. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is I was watching Stitching at the Cabin yesterday. I think it was their third video, and they were showing stash. And Julie, who's the mom, Alyssa's the daughter, but both of them, they have like these huge projects. They have a lot of haze, they have chatelaines, so like everything they do is huge. I bought this pattern. I actually have this one, and this is the Village Bookstore, Randall Spangler, and I also have the Rose Trellis Inn, which is Randall Spangler. But let's get real. We're talking about, this is the first one. So I love this pattern with all my heart. First of all, I think it's beautiful. Second of all, there's 15 cats in this pattern, which is hard to see. There's 15 cats. There's a dragling. I know this picture, but I mean, look it up online. It's Village Bookstore. There's a dragling. There's some birds, but there's 15 cats. There's just cats all over it, and they're hidden up in here. And there's one like on the tree and everything. So I bought this like probably the first month I was stitching, because like it's like, yeah, no biggie, I can do, you know. And then I realized just how long this will take to do, especially since I do these other projects. I mean, I have 2 quick stitch shades that are going right now. They're quick stitch. I just don't get to them that often because I'm working on other stuff. So although I love them and I enjoy working on them, they're much more of like a commitment, a stitching commitment. I can't just pick it up and stitch for an hour. I like have to set it up, and it's just a bigger deal. And so I've hesitated on starting this because it's like I just don't know how I feel about something that I know is going to take so long. So what are your feelings on that? Should I just go for it and, you know, who cares if I die before I finish it? Or, you know, I just don't know. The other thing is like, what do I stitch it on? Because my heads that I'm doing right now, one is on 16 count Aida and one's on 18 count Aida. I think I would want to do an Aida just because it's easier. I'm thinking though that I think the highest count, and I like the Easy Grid fabric. So I think the highest count Easy Grid you can get is like 20 or 22. I'm thinking if I can find that, and then I would do it with 10 stitch instead of full crosses. Because it'll be quicker. So that's what I'm considering doing. I just don't know. I mean, and I know the longer I hesitate, then of course the longer it's going to take to complete. And, you know, and I do really love this pattern. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the time and the money to invest in something that's going to take so long. You know, because, you know, I calculated, you know, you can calculate stitches, and then if I stitched, you know, 1,000 stitches a week, how long I mean, it would take like, you know, 10, 15 years. And that's if I do so many a week. So I don't know. I love the pattern. I have the pattern. I have the second one that I want to do, you know, so that's another 15 years. You know, if I was a monogamous stitcher, of course it wouldn't take that long, but obviously I'm not, and I'm not going to get to be that way. So I don't know. Tell me what you think, you guys. Should I start it? Should I just go for it and start it? And, you know, if it takes the rest of my life, it takes the rest of my life. Or what? Tell me. Or should I just, you know, invest in a print of this picture? So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. So anyway, I think that's it for today. Now I have to decide if I want to work on my heads or sew project bags, or I don't know what I'm going to do today. I hope you guys have a great week, stitchy or otherwise. Again, thank you to everybody who's being so supportive to me and my channel. Please hit like, subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed. I'm 420 around there now, and when I hit 500, I do want to do some, you know, giveaways. And what I'm thinking is that I will maybe make a project bag for somebody, project bag of their choice with the fabrics that I have extra of. Plus I have patterns and stuff like that to pass along. But anyway, Yeah, I just thank you everybody for all you do for me, and I hope you have a great stitchy week. In the meantime, please remember to always be content, be kind, and be crafty. Thank you guys. This is Carla. Bye-bye.